All right, we're live, baby.
Live in the studio. I'm on Instagram too.
I'll make sure this is mute. All right, we're live, baby. All right, cool.
How to position your product for optimum pricing. Was that it?
Yeah. Yeah, for premium pricing. So I'm gonna send that out to the Ghost Squad too. So that call that you just took, Tech, that's why I was asking you, did she, oh my God, was that good or was that bad? Because because it would be good, right? She actually went to get her wallet to purchase the service. But you see that simple exaggeration on that price would have made somebody Demi Moore their pants, bro.
Yeah. Bend over.
And those that okay, we got some people on here. For those that don't know what we're talking about, that movie Striptease, where Demi Moore became a stripper, and these guys and these notary clients trick you. You fall for the trick bag every time when they just over exaggerate your price. You give them a price for like $50, they'll be like, oh my God, that's expensive. And the first thing you guys do is like, well, what if we did it for 25? You just dropped your pants, dude.
Okay, I think that can work. I think that, okay, when can you come? They just saved half, 50%
Right.
off.
And they were willing to pay the 50. You just fell for the trick bag.
Yeah, she asked for a power of attorney, and then, I said 239. She goes, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!" She said it 3 times. 3 times. Oh my God! But that is an exaggeration. Yeah, you talk about that all the time, and then when you hear it, when you experience it, after getting the reps, you experience it, you see it. Yeah, then it becomes a reality. It's not just something that we're talking about. It's something that actually happens. And then she concedes. The concession inevitably comes.
That's funny.
He goes, okay, let me go try to get the money. I call you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways, a lot of twists and turns that can happen in that moment. It just always fascinates me because we're not talking about $10,000s of dollars. This isn't an incredibly significant amount of money. It's usually just $100, a couple $100. And really the confidence in being able to sell that or something that's just a couple $100, especially when someone needs it. Think about that. They're calling you. Like, I didn't call them, they called me. Like, you didn't call them, Tiger. They called you.
Exactly.
You called me. And here I am, helping you because you called me. I was minding my business. I was going about my life. And then you interrupted me. You know what I'm saying? You disrupted my flow, what I was doing. I might have been giving my dog a bath. Who knows? And then you call me and you want a power of attorney. I'm telling you, yes, 239. We can come do it right now. And you just need a letter. You need a power of attorney letter. Well, you can call the attorney and then you can ask them. You know how much it costs us to get on the phone with an attorney?
Right.
Lady, you need $500 just to sit down with me. Nothing's been done yet. Nothing's been drafted. Nothing's been discussed yet, but you need $500 just to sit down with me.
That's right.
And then don't let my office be on the 50th floor.
Yeah, you spending the primo bucks. Primo Steamo.
Yeah, don't let my office be on the 67th floor. You're not even talking to the receptionist for less than 800. Just to walk in here. But here's the thing, you know, and people want that. That's a level of service that a lot of people want. And even if they can't afford it, they want to be given. They want to be treated with that level of service. Nobody wants anything cheap.
Mhm.
Don't give me the cheap stuff. I want the good stuff. Miss me with the cheap, you know, bargain top off vodka.
Yeah.
Don't give me that stuff. I don't want that. Even if what you always got to give people the red carpet, the velvet rope treatment. They want that. You know, they may not be able to afford it, to be
Right.
honest.
Who wouldn't want the VIP treatment, right? The red carpet with the VIP booth and the bottle service. Like the lamest of the lames would want to be treated like that. And that would also be a reflection of that person's self-confidence in themselves too, right? Like, why would you want the best of the best? Why? Why would, if you can afford to get Don Perignon versus, you know, Ned, whatever Ned the Wino drinks. We're like, how is that even in the same race? So I think a lot of the times people don't position themselves mentally to receive those orders. You believe that your service isn't worth getting paid premium dollars. You feel that your services is not worth more than this. Because you're not willing to pay for that, you're looking at other people and you're saying, they're not going to pay for it either. You're literally out there trying to attract customers like you, and your buying habits suck. I want somebody's buying habits that's way better than mine. You like Louis Vuitton purses? Happy for you. Now, my services are going to be, you're accustomed to paying premium stuff because you like the finer things. I think it was you that told me that how can a person ask for a high ticket offer, a $10,000 project, if they never spend $10,000 on a project for themselves? And that made so much sense. You're not willing to spend 10 racks on yourself for your higher education, and who's more important than you?
Yeah.
So how do you expect to ask somebody for 10 racks?
Bro, that's real. That's personal. It is. If you're not willing to do it for you, what would make someone else do it for you? Well, you can only even do it for yourself. I can't care more about you than you do.
Right.
Can't. You got to care more about your money than anyone else. You got to care more about your health than anyone else. Got to care more about your relationships than anyone else. If you don't, then why would I? You know where I can see that. Here's something you can do this like today. The next time you go to a grocery store, I remember those videos you used to post up when you would be in Target. You shop at Target, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those videos were cool because I shop at Target, and then next to the Target where I go, there's Targets everywhere, but next to this particular Target, there's a Safeway. Safeway is a grocery store. Do they have that out there in your neighborhood?
Like what, a grocery store?
It's just a
Which
grocery
one?
store,
Yeah.
supermarket, grocery store. That's all it
Yep.
is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we have a Safeway. It's right next to the Target. It's in the same complex. But here's something that I noticed when so talking about people who want to be treated differently. Why wouldn't you want the Louis Vuitton red carpet, velvet ropes? The self-checkout line to me versus the person who gets a basket full of groceries and then they go to the cashier.
Mhm.
The self-checkout line versus cashier. Now, on the surface, to me, one, it might seem more convenient, but to me, that is the difference between the person who knows who knows the value of time. They might see their time a little bit more different. But then again, you might be more friendly, you might want to go to the cashier, might want to talk to them. The self the self-checkout line is a person who wants expedited service. That's the person who wants speedy service. That's the person who knows that they got to get somewhere. Maybe they don't have time to sit in the line. So they just do it themselves. They just check it out themselves. But that's something that you can see that on an everyday basis. You go to Target, next time you go to Target, do this. Right. Next time you do the Target, go to self checkout or at least walk by and see who's in the self checkout line versus the people who go to um yeah, versus people who go to the regular cashier. So me, here's another way you can do this, like it's food delivery.
Mm.
So you order pizza on family night, Friday family night, you order pizza. Do you go pick it up or do you get it delivered? You know?
Right. Hold on one second, bro.
Yeah. So when I'm breaking down the difference between a notary client, a notary potential client, they haven't hired you yet, but what's the characteristic of those persons, of the people who eventually become your client, or at least the people that you want to cater towards? So we talk about those three different examples. How can you charge somebody $10,000? You haven't even spent $10,000 before in
Yep.
one thing. How can you charge somebody 5,000? You haven't spent 5,000 on something before. How can you
That's
do
right.
that? You don't even know how it. Like you're not even in that same, you know, uh, galaxy of mind thinking. You're just not because you haven't found something that you're willing to drop that sum of money for. And it's not even like a flex or anything. It's just that if what you offer is as a notary, I'm saying, is premium service, then uh, well, do you look at other services as premium, and then do you separate or differentiate yourself from that? It's not even like a status thing. It's just that, like again, the skipping the line, the self checkout. It's not even a status thing. It's just that how are you viewing yourself and your time? I would say the self checkout, and then also the food delivery. I always go get my own food. I don't ever get it delivered, man. I just that's just me. I just don't want people touching it. I don't want people breathing on my wings. You know.
You want to limit the hands that touch your food. I get it.
Yes. Yeah. I want you showing up with your dirty fingernails, all in my wing stop, nose running. You know what I'm saying? Like, driving in your two-seat Ford Focus. I don't know what the hell you.
Yeah, your bag was slightly torn.
Yeah,
The
took some
left
Cajun
side of
fries.
the left side of the styrofoam was lifted up like somebody squeezed the French fry through.
Yeah. They tried to sneak it out, try to get some cheese fries.
It's like it smelled like you got mild sauce on there.
It accidentally grazed the top of the styrofoam cup too.
Damn, that would be so foul, man. I bet you there's Uber cats like that. Uber Eat, Drive, DoorDash. They're picking some of the cheese off your pizza, man.
I'm gonna just take a bite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're sitting in the parking lot waiting for you to come down.
Right.
Like, hey man, I'm gonna just take a little take a little pepperoni off.
But on some seriousness, right? How can somebody go from $100, I mean, $50 in sales to 100?
Yeah, they can double their price like in one day, immediately almost. So to me, the easiest way to do it is because first of all, you got to stop don't tell yourself that the person doesn't have the money. Don't say that. If you're on the phone with someone, for example, and then they're telling you about their problem, they're telling you about their issue, like the woman that we just spoke to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a power of attorney, or I need a power of attorney, and I'm going to sign it. My husband's going to sign it. They're telling you about their problem.
Mhm.
I would like to have it done today, and without even knowing the situation, all the details, all the motivation that's pushing them, you could give yourself that $50 bump, that $50 increase. But first, don't tell yourself, or try not to tell yourself that this person doesn't have $50 or $100. This is because you're trying to go from 50 to 100. They're calling you. That's the first sign. Then they're telling you, or they're expressing you that they need this. So already that you've got a little bit of an advantage. You got some lead, some headway there. Now, something that you do incredibly well is building up the value, and but a lot of people do. Who I was talking to a notary last night, 22 years as a notary, and never had any type of negotiation, no type of sales, no background whatsoever. She's
Mhm.
basically just making it up as she goes along. It's basically
Yeah.
just guessing, basically. And she says, "Well, people always tell me they only have $2 in their pocket. They only have $5 in their pocket. How do you know that?" That's because you're telling yourself that they only have $5, $2 in their
Exactly.
pocket.
That's a killer too, bro. The story that these people are telling themselves is really, really detrimental to their business. Because like you and I, because we coach so many notaries and we coach coaches, that story that they tell themselves in their mind has restricted them from advancing to that next level. They'll say area, the, the state only mandates this much amount of money. Area in general says no proof of it whatsoever. There's no statistics, there's numbers, there's nothing that's validating what they're saying. There's no proof to what they're saying. So then they'll say something like, all of the notaries in my area, I can't charge the price that you guys are talking about. And then they start to conform. They start to conform and start building their businesses off of what they see other people are building their businesses for, which is bad, really bad. I remember specifically, there was a lady that called me. Her husband was in the hospital, and she needed to do a power of attorney um, with the living will. I charged her like three and change, right? It was like almost $400. It's like 384. She's she did the wow, right? She was like, wow, that's expensive. That's way more than what the other customer was charging me. The other notary was gonna charge me. And I said, how much was the other notary gonna charge you? She said $20.
Mm. Yikes.
$20. And I said, ma'am, let's look at this for a second. You're in a hospital downtown Chicago. First of all, the pay for parking alone is going to cost you $20. That guy is already in a zero just off the parking. Then he has to drive over to you during rush hour. And then he's going to do a power of attorney for you. He has to get special clearance because he has to go up there and do. So that doesn't seem weird to you? She said, it did seem weird to me. And I was like, how are you going to do all of this for $20? I'll just go with you. See, even customers don't want to go with the cheapest person in the house.
No.
You think they're looking for a deal. They want confidence and surety that you're going to execute. Thank you, Dawn. Know what I mean? So she wound up spending $380. So that was my competition right there. Well, which really wasn't, but I mean, like, that's who she was comparing her pricing to. So if I came up with $40, then she probably would have been like, oh, okay, $20, $40. I can move like that. It's not much of a difference. But I was like fucking 300 times more than what this guy was charging. So there was only two things that can happen in that situation. She'll either think I was, doing highway robbery, or that guy was doing highway robbery. But the way I presented my company, she immediately coined him as a fraud.
The $2 notary, man. That's the corner store notary. I'm telling you, it's the liquor store, the corner store, the liquor store. It's funny. I was watching the NASCAR thing yesterday about the Chicago, and I'm trying to get familiar with the street names like Michigan Ave and Lakeshore Ave. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. Over here where I live, they call it International Boulevard. International Boulevard is where, like, if you want to, I don't want to say insult someone, but if I wanted to like categorize them as like a little bit lower, I would say, oh man, you're an International Boulevard notary, right? What would be the equivalent of like that in Chicago? Like there's Wall Street, there's like Fifth Avenue, right? Madison Avenue, right?
The financial district.
But what would be the opposite of that thing?
The slums, the ghetto.
Oh my God. Like we have a whole street for it. I'm sure every city has some type of, you have a street that you associate with that type of lower tier, discounted. You get it under the table.
Oh, okay. I got it for you. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, there is one. It's called Lower Wacker Drive.
Okay.
It's like an underground city in Chicago where all the homeless people live at. And I remember distinctively when I worked at Bally Total Fitness, and my regional manager said to me, if you don't learn sales, your ass is gonna be in a cardboard box on Lower Wacker Drive. I had just moved to Chicago. I was like, what's Lower Wacker Drive? And then I found out what Lower Wacker Drive. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going there.
You see? You see, that's what we talk about, man.
Block you in.
Yeah, you don't want people to associate you with Lower Wacker Drive. Like, oh, I can go get some tires, I can go get a new radio, get my windows tinted, and I can get a notary on Lower Wacker. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want people to associate you with the best of the best. Like that website we were looking at. We were just checking out a website, and it was a really nice looking website. It was a beautiful website. It was colors were all coordinated, the pictures were all high quality, and everything worked. I mean, there was the reason why we know it wasn't a high quality website because there's some not typos, but it wasn't done. Like the years, the 2000 and the XX, and it would be like your city versus your name. So we knew it was incomplete. But you wanted people to associate you when they see you. Like if I saw that website, I would associate that company with a, I keep saying Wall Street, but I'm thinking like, Rodeo Drive, something that's really fancy and fly. But when people look at your website, like what's the worst website you've ever seen? Can you describe it? Like something that just doesn't look, you would never spend money at this person's notary business.
The first website I ever made for somebody was the worst site I ever seen. That shit was horrible.
Hello, bright.
It
The
was a
colors and
website that I made for myself. I was just trying Homestead. I thought it was the flyest shit ever until I looked at a Rolls Royce website and I was like, oh, this is horrible. This is really, really bad. Really bad. And I left Homestead and I went to WordPress and never went back again.
Yeah, for real. Like my website I like my website. It's good. It's very simple. And I've gotten compliments on it all the time. And here's the thing though, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but I've been approached by people who said they got websites done. And then I would look at their website and literally they hired somebody in India to make a mirrored copy of my website. I was like, what? You should have just came to me. I would have just gave you the template. I would just give you the blueprint. You could have did yourself. But a notary website is very interesting because I can look at a website and be able to tell if it's functioning or not, or if anyone uses it. There are a couple of things that we look for. Number one, always look for a phone number, look for a button, and then what people tend to do is they'll put this is very true across the board with notaries. They'll put themselves on it, right? They'll put their face and they're the face of the company and it's just them. And that could play to your advantage and it could also play to your disadvantage. One of the ways that it plays against your disadvantage is that, you're the person who I'm speaking to, you do everything. You do the intake, you do the fulfillment, you do everything. It's a one-person show. And that's it can be a disadvantage. In other ways, it can be an advantage is if like we've spoken to notaries who really want to embed themselves into the community, which is a good thing. They want to be known within their community as a person to go to. So if they put their face on it, then people start to recognize them. And yeah, there's some vanity associated with that, but that's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's one of the examples and then you see that a lot with notaries because when people start notary businesses, I don't even want to know if I can say notary business, but when people get their notary commission and then they launch a website, what you commonly see is that they name it after themselves, they put their initials on it, and then they'll put their face all over it. So it's them, it's a reflection of them. So how do you want that reflection of yourself to look? Do you want it to be this cheap looking website that hasn't evolved in the last 20 years? It looked like a 9-year-old made it, or do you want to give the impression of an established organization, an established reputable business that has a functioning phone number, that has links that are not broken, and doesn't have warnings all over the website that tells you the security certificate is out of date and it's going to put spam all over your computer or your phone. So people giving themselves, it's easy. So you talk about how to go from $50 to $100. How do you make that leap? There's some subtle ways to do it. Well, a website is probably like the easiest way to do it, but to me, you should be able to sell a $50 or $100 service. That shouldn't be a problem, despite having a website that is not the best looking website, because it all comes down to people's taste anyway. So skipping the line is one thing that is a concept that I love that concept. I like talking about it. I like talking about the self-checkout concept. Wanting things done or wanting them done now. And that's what a lot of people do when they call notaries. They typically want things done now. And that's the reason why they call you. So I was just looking at some of my numbers here, and it's like 64 to 68% of my appointments are same day requests.
Yeah, Tech, hold down the fort for a minute. I got to make a quick move.
Sure. I can ramble, or we can just come back. It's up to you. Yeah.
Because there's people on YouTube as
Okay.
well, so you can chat with them.
Oh, I'm not even
If
on
you
the
got any
YouTube.
questions? Are you on YouTube?
Let me pull it up.
All right.
My
Shout out
bad,
to
y'all.
everybody on YouTube, by the way.
My bad, y'all. Y'all might be asking questions. I wasn't even looking.
All right.
My
I'll
bad.
be right back.
All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so let's see. Yeah, man, put some questions in the chat if you guys want to ask some questions right now. I'm trying to keep this window open. Yeah, man, but thanks for flowing and glowing with us today. One of the things that we're talking about, one of the issues that comes across our desk, our table, our office, our blue seal office, as you can see in the background, is one of the biggest concerns is really how do I price? And it's not like what do I price myself, but why is it that people are telling me that they don't want to pay for it? And it's not so much that they don't want to pay for it. It really comes down to they're not quite sure what they're paying for. So what you'll find is people might be a little bit concerned about paying a price or paying for something that they, first of all, they don't know what, sometimes they may not expect. If they've never worked with a notary before, the first time they've been handed a piece of paper, they've been told, go get this signed, go get this notarized, and they've never worked with a notary before. They've never navigated the legal system before. So they already have in their mind what they want to pay or what they can actually afford to pay, but they don't really understand why this power of attorney is incredibly valuable. So having the ability, again, it all starts with your presentation, right? But having the ability to demonstrate your value and then also convey what the person is actually paying for. What is it that they're actually getting? What are they walking away with? It's not just a signed piece of paper and a stamp. It's not just that. Like, let me ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys, and feel free to chime in here on YouTube. I'm gonna just check the chat here on YouTube. What is a notary? You know what I'm saying? What is an actual notary? What do you think a notary actually does? To many people, it might be, well, notary is the person who prevents fraud. They counter fraud. True. What else? A notary is, somebody who authenticates signatures. True. What else? There's a whole laundry list of things that notaries can do, but if they are not quite sure about what the person, the customer, the client is getting out of it, then you might run into some issues with commanding a rate that makes sense. Because ultimately, in the end, every person who calls on a notary, they just need to get a piece of paper signed and they need to get it stamped. But there's also another story attached to that. There's also what family issue that they're going through, what car that they're trying to get, they're trying to retrieve, what valuable items that they're trying to, regain access to, what country is their child trying to travel to this summer. Two parents, one child. both mom and dad have to sign the travel consent form so that the kid can go to Paris for the summer, because they're part of this immersion program with this after school class that they've been a part of for the last 3 years. And now they've been looking forward to this opportunity to go. So there's a story attached to any type of document that you come across. It's not just a minor travel consent form. It's not just a stamp. It's not just the signature that you give, but it's the story. So when you're trying to convey that price, trying to go from $50 to $100, I look at the environment. I look at the circumstances. I look at who's signing this piece of paper. You and your ex-husband. Okay, so y'all don't get along. So now we have to meet in front of the Marriott downtown.
Right.
So your husband's going to pull up in the Toyota Tundra, and then you're going to pull up in the Mercedes. And then the daughter who's going to be traveling to Paris is going to be with you because you have custody. Okay. All right. Is your husband, I'm sorry, ex-husband, is he going to have the paper? Right. I've had these situations before. And what I realized, one thing I've learned, Tiger, at the end of the day, this is why it's so easy to sell a notary. You want to know why it's so easy to sell a notary? So easy, so simple. Because it's just one thing. It's not, we don't make cupcakes and we don't sell t-shirts, bro. We sign paper. That's why I asked the question to the YouTube. I said, what is a notary? And then you'll get a million different answers. What is a notary? Well, if you have a million different answers, then it's a million different things. But if you ask me, it's just one thing. And it's a signature and a stamp, right? It's either those, one of those or the other. But I also know that there's some circumstance attached to that signature and the stamp. Like I said, you got the ex-husband, you got the ex-wife, you got the custody of the daughter. She's trying to travel out of state, and you need to coordinate this meeting between these three individuals, daughter, husband, and wife, so that they can sign a piece of paper. Oh, who's going to pay for this? Well, my husband, he's going to pay for it. No, she's going to pay for it, right? You got all these scenarios, and at the end of the day, nothing happens without the signature and the stamp. So it'll be $115. Right. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think that was probably the best response. I've got some good responses. That was a good one though. Oh my God.
You know, we threw this past each other a couple of times, and I want to talk about people starting, and I know Dawn basically has this down already in Florida. She's building a full service notary practice, right? Yeah. And for those that don't understand, and let me type that in the chat so you guys know what we're talking about. A full service notary practice. Now, you guys may not have heard this before, right? You never heard anyone put this together this way, but after being in this game for a while, and I'm running all over the notary industry, right? And I'm noticing something, and I'm like, we haven't even scratched the surface on the potential of this business and this industry. I'll tell you why. When you interact with a law firm or you interact with a title company, escrow company, paralegal, you can bring them into your mix. You can bring them into your ecosystem, right?
Right.
You can now create a two-way table. Instead of you going to their office and bringing them scrumpets and tea, and you know what I mean? You're trying to schmooze them and everything. You're still positioning your business to be a one-sided channel. Okay, here's some big goods. Now give me leads. Bring me money. You don't think that company wants money too? Think about it. You don't think they would rather you bring them money than baked goods? They can buy their own baked goods. They can buy their own Dunkin' Donuts 12-pack. You bring them Dunkin' Donuts coffee and they drink Starbucks.
Ooh. I'm never calling.
I'm just saying, right? So turn the tables around, reposition it, look with a different lens of eyes, man, and like look at it and say, how can I benefit this company as well? See, right now, most notaries look at it as I'm benefiting them by bringing notary service. No, they could find somebody else to do that. Okay, let's do this comparison. Jan goes to the law firm and she brings baked goods, tea, and coffee. She is like, hey, this is Jan. Here's some baked goods and coffee and caffeine. Can I get some leads? Now, she may get some leads out of that. Now, I come in and I say, hey, John, how's it going with the business? Just want to let you know I'm a notary. We have a full service notary practice. We get clients that request services like what you offer all the time. Right. Would it be a ridiculous idea to refer some of them to you?
No coffee?
No coffee, no scrumpets.
No gift cards?
Scones. Fucking scone. What's a scone? No scones.
You don't even have
to position yourself to give business to that client. You know how much more valuable that makes you? And in return, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
I would never call Jan. I would never call her. I would call you.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's the elbow, the person that's less deserving. This is why I say, like, when we attack this notary industry, we're reclaiming our thrones, ladies and gentlemen. There's been some cornballs that have been sitting on the throne, eating the biggest feast, enjoying the greatest meals, wearing the finest garment, and they are not deserving of it. So the Ghost Squad, the Notary SEAL team are going to claim our spots. You hear about those tech. You always hear about those people that say, man, I got to keep moving because there's somebody that wants my spot. That's not your spot. Your spot is down the block, nigga. This is our spot. And they know that. They know this, man. They know it. So now we come into the office. We're in the position. This is what a full service notary practice is. We're in the position to bring business to you. And if you happen to have any notary assignments that you want to run by us, we're a nationwide outfit. You got to have to change your wording, ladies and gentlemen. If you want bigger businesses to take you serious. We were talking about it earlier, Tech. Are there any $1 million notary businesses out there? And the answer was yes. The answer was yes. There are companies making $1 million a year doing this notary stuff. I'll give you an example. Notarize.com. That company is ran by a human being. They have a CEO of that company. What would happen, right, Dawn? Let's just say, Dawn, you went to one of these conventions, expos or whatever, and then somebody just happened to introduce you to the CEO of Notarize.com. By the way, Notarize.com just landed a contract with FedEx. For those that did not know, they just brokered a deal with FedEx, ladies and gentlemen. FedEx never offered notary service before. Now they're going to be offering remote online notarizations, in case you didn't know. That's a big deal. Your paperwork and your standards of operations got to be in order for you to land a contract with FedEx. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at right there. But did Notarize.com ever think that they would be sitting in front of FedEx? The same way you guys may not be thinking that you're going to sit in front of the CEO of Notarize.com or the CEO of NNA, people that can change your whole life like that. These are breakthroughs right here. Yeah, it's major. Absolutely, Dawn. Those are major situations. Are you preparing for those situations? Or are you playing with the small dogs, man? Like, who are you playing with? Who are you playing with? Are you playing in the small sandbox? Or are you playing in the major sandbox? How would you prepare for a situation like that? Are you ready? Can you call notaries at the drop of a dime?
Or just let the money slip right through your fingers.
And me and Tech agreed on that. It is a horrible feeling, y'all.
Oh, that was my commission expired. For those who don't know, for the record, I'm not technically a notary right now. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not, because my commission expired 60 days ago. Exactly. Right. On March
2 months.
2 months. Yep. Did the phone stop ringing?
Nope.
Nope. Absolutely not. It didn't. It's the third day of the month so far, and I've already got 6 appointments lined up already, because we just took a phone call just now. And the reason why is because even though I'm not technically a notary, I have been limited by my company's capabilities. I don't stop doing notarizations, however. Yeah, there's one aspect of the company that's been limited, and that only aspect is the ability for me to personally go out and execute a notarization within like 5 minutes. Like, because 64 to 80% of my business is same day requests, same day. So yeah, you got to build in a buffer there, and I got to, navigate and move a little bit differently. I do miss it, right? I do miss being able to go out there and run those last minute appointments. But I will say something though, Tiger, and you called this. You called it. I will say this. You said you're going to see this industry from a completely different lens, completely, totally different perspective. And you're right. I see it completely from a different. I'm looking at my view is much different now, because I've completely removed myself. And you asked me an important question. You were like, you like, now what would you have done if you had never built an agency? If you had never built in the capability to accept it? And then you said, I think this is something that everybody should do. I agree.
Yeah. Because look, 2 months, right? No commission. And then phone calls are still coming in. Bro, you would be sick to your stomach to see all that money just fly out the window. These are people literally balling their money up and throwing it at you like a baseball.
Yeah, I'm like ducking and dodging it.
And you're like, what are you gonna say? I'm sorry, there's no notaries available right now. I've been telling people this for years. I said, look, you don't have to start a notary agency. You should at least know the fundamentals of having it, because life happens. You might get a flat tire. Your car needs a new transmission. You're on vacation. You're at a graduation. Anything can happen. Don't stop the money from coming in, though. Don't build a dam to say, money, you stay on that side, I'm gonna stay on this side. Man, you create as many funnels as you possibly can. Come on, money over here. Come on, money over here. Come on, money over here. and have it all flowing to you. And you don't have to run these assignments yourself. That's the luxury part of it. So technically, you could have went on a 2-week or a 2-month vacation and still be handling your business on a boat.
That's right.
Come on, man. Come on, y'all.
I can't say that I miss it, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll never go back. I don't know.
It's always good to have, right? You have that option. It's good to have that option, though. That's the main thing of it. You have the option of running appointments if you want to. You might be bored, be like, ain't shit on TV. I'm gonna just run this appointment. Boom. Make a quick extra $200. Other than that, you'd be like, because on a scaling purpose, to be able to scale, yeah, you want to dispatch notaries to different locations at the same time. You personally, and I personally cannot, I can only run one appointment at a time. But me as a full service notary practice or notary agency, I can dispatch as many notaries as I possibly can handle. The highest number I've ever dispatched in one day was 5. 5 notaries, all dispatched. I didn't run none of the appointments. And this when I was telling you, Tech, that I was telling Andre Hatchett, like in the notary war room, he was like, how much have I made as a notary? And I told him I was making 10 grand. When that interview came out, I was making about close to 10 grand a month. And the beautiful part of that was I was only running maybe a third or half of the appointments.
Wow.
What? You think I could, bro, running appointments to make 10 racks, I'd be exhausted.
Could you imagine?
So if my minimum sale, my average cost per sale, ladies and gentlemen, was $129. Okay. I would damn near need to run almost a little under 100 assignments in a month. How often do you think I could keep that up?
And I'll pull up the calculator right here. Divided by 120.
What is it, like 87?
77 and a half.
Okay, I was over by 10.
Mm-hmm. You need to run 77 and then, oh my God. So
77 appointments, bro. Right?
How long can your engine last doing that?
In a month. Now, is that impossible? No, it's roughly about 2 appointments a day, a little bit more on some days, right? Maybe an extra one on the weekends. But did I want to wrap my whole life around that? Hell no. Absolutely not. So that part of the business gave me freedom and still kept the money coming.
Yeah, therein lies the difference between, people say, I'm known for making jokes about the loan signing agents, the notary signing agents, right? And I have nothing, for the record, I have nothing against notary signing agents, but I always say there is a distinct difference between a notary signing agent and notary public. One's a job, and I don't care what nobody say, miss me with it. It's a job. I don't care how you feel or how you think about it. I'm not saying it to disparage you. I'm just saying you please recognize this. And therein lies the difference. You have to do it. If you run 77 appointments, you have to do that. That's the definition of a job. It won't get done unless you sit at the signing table and stamp the document. Unless you print the documents, it's not going to get done. You have to do that. That's a job. You have to do that. It's nothing bad about that. I'm just saying you must accept that's what it is. But on the business side of this is why loan signing is not a business. So when people say the loan signing business, that's erroneous. That's misleading. When people say loan signing is a business, it's not a business because you have to be there. For a business, you don't have to be there. Like, for example, I'm not a notary right now. So I can still not execute appointments, but I can still schedule appointments, book appointments. I can still, navigate the industry and direct traffic. That, and I'm leveraging a a system, right?
Mhm.
Someone calls me and I get the information, and then I secure their payment, and then I assign a notary, and then they go and execute it, and then it comes back. There's a step by step by step, s- you know, step one to step done. That exists there, but with loan signing, you have to be there. If you're not at the signing table, it doesn't get done. So
Mhm.
you're gonna do that 77 times, and you're gonna make $10,000 a month. All right, and then what happens next month when you do it 76 times, and then the next time once you do it 20 times, right? That's again. I'm known for making fun of the loan signing agents and notary signing agents, but I don't do it to humiliate anybody. I do it because that's really what made the difference when I accepted. I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, Tech,
Mhm.
yo, I just did 3 months of loan signing. I just did 3 months back to back to back consecutively of
Yeah.
being on Red Docs. I just sat there for 3 months and I said, wow, I ain't doing this. This because this is the very thing I was trying to get away from. This is the very thing because a loan signing company, a signing service could easily just say, you know what, we found someone who can do that HELOC for $65 cheaper than what you did. So they
Mm.
fired me. And I didn't want to be fired. I didn't ever want to have
Mm.
that on me. Like, oh, this person can control what I eat. This person can control how I work with my family. No, I want to
Indeed.
control. Nothing wrong with that. Again, you can do both. You can do both, but you better understand that loan signing is a job. It's not a business. So for anybody who calls loan signing a business, that person is erroneous. They're I don't. They may not be doing it intentionally though. That's the only thing. I'm not calling.
Unless like they do like Dawn does, where they go direct. If they're doing what Dawn does and she because she goes direct to customer. Now, if you have the loan company, the title company spoon feeding you, no, it's not a business. You have a job for sure, because you don't know how to fish. They're doing the fishing for you. That's why your cut is so low. That's why they pay you so cheaply, because they hunted the meat. They killed the meat. So of course they're going to give you the scraps. That's the way of the wild.
That's nature.
That's nature. Exactly, bro.
Nature law. Yeah, yeah, that's natural law
So
right there.
you can't be mad at them for offering. When I because I didn't do any loan closing until like I was already doing specialty notary work for a while, right? And then it was a company called me, and this lady, I remember, because I was on another phone call and I patched him in, um Jamar Jamar Ra. I patched him into the phone call, and I was like, I wanted him to listen to it because I wasn't familiar with loan closing. So I told him mute his phone, and I started going over, these things. And this lady just kept rattling off stuff that she needs. So I'm like, as she telling me the things that she needs, I'm rattling off pricing. My pricing is going up, right? Like, yeah, we need scam back. Okay, cha-ching. We need this, cha-ching. We need FedEx run, cha-ching. So we're doing all of this stuff. And then I hit her with the price, right? It came up to like $250. And she was like, $250.
Oh my
We don't
God.
pay notaries. We don't pay notaries that much money. I was like, really? How much you paying notaries? She was like, $45 to $65. That's way out of our budget. I was like, well, okay, well, it's not for me then. Good luck, happy hunting on your thing. Tech, I promise you, that woman called me back in like 5 minutes and she did the deal.
I know she did. I know she did.
That is when I realized that loan signing agents are getting jerked.
Mm.
When I mean jerked, I'm talking about blue balls jerked, yo. That girlfriend that you wanted to smash, but she'll never let you smash, nigga. Never.
She said, meet me after school, and she never showed up.
Never. You getting jerked.
She said, wait
You
for me.
buying her flowers and candy and all of this stuff, and she's dating the jock. She shoos you away when her popular friends come over. Okay, get away now. Go. Go take your lunch. Go to the other table. You're getting jerked, my dude.
Yeah, save me a seat on the bus when I'll be on the bus. You sit there.
Bad laugh emojis coming up. Y'all funny, man. Y'all know it's the truth what Tech's talking about. Like, it's a job. It is a job. And oh my gosh. And I felt you guys' pain. I wish I didn't. I should let you walk off the fucking cliff. But I felt your pain. And I said, and then that's when I researched what a loan signing agent was and what that position actually was. And I put it in my first book.
Yeah, hit them with that.
As a smart notary.
Yeah, I was very intrigued by that. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I actually went back and confirmed that too. So I went
to
somebody who was a loan signing agent, or they are currently a paralegal, but they were like a notary public, way back in early 2000, mid 2000, and they 100% confirmed that story. But go ahead, if you've never heard that.
So if you haven't heard the story, ladies and gentlemen, the LSA, a loan signing agent, used to be two separate positions. Two. There was a signing agent that the title or escrow company would send out on the appointment the same day that the notary goes out. Okay, let me give you the backdrop and how I felt your pain and why you're getting jerked right now. They would send an in-house rep, which would be the signing agent. That was their title, signing agent or loan signing agent. Then they would send a notary public. Now, for those that ever did any loan closings, you know that you're actually going over some of the documents like you originated the loan somehow. Why are you going over documents and go and say, all right, this is your APR, this is, that was not your position at all. Y'all follow me? That was the position of the loan signing agent. So now I want you to imagine a kitchen table. You have the client, you have the notary, you have the loan signing agent, and then you have the notary public. The loan signing agent is now telling the client, okay, he's doing the breakdown that notaries are doing now. And then he takes that page and he goes over to the notary and say, okay, I need you to stamp here and here. Bam, bam. She already did her job. All she's doing is stamping because she already verified the ID, everything. Her job is done as far as that's concerned. All she has to do is wait for the paper to get handed to her and she stamps, bam, bam. Now they remove the position of the loan signing agent, and now they come up with this stupid term, a notary signing agent. You're doing the position of two people and getting paid for one. Again, that cheerleader is jerking you, my dude.
Yeah.
You still behind the bleachers, my dude. She's home. Eating Lipton tomato soup.
I read that in the book, man. and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
But
And it seems appropriate too. I'm like, of course, that's how things evolve. They try to consolidate. But I checked with, but here's the thing, at that time, people were just people were gravitating toward the loan signing industry, and people houses were being sold and people were being refinanced. So I get it. I understand the lure and the attraction and how people can find themselves so absorbed with it. So that's again, that's behavior, that's human behavior. They people just naturally flock there. But like we say, if there's a crowd of people going one way, you gotta make a left, bro. You gotta get off the exit right here,
yeah,
man. Do it a little differently.
yeah. And you know what's crazy is when I had hired this notary out in Indiana. By the way, if you're watching this video, you shady little trick you. That's the one that tried to snake a deal from me. Called the client. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I got stories for days. There's great notaries. Most of the time, there's great notaries, but then you got those few. You would never invite them to a family function. You got those. So I went on an assignment because I wanted to see all of the stuff that she did for loan closing. Not that I was even remotely interested in doing loan signings. I just wanted to see with my own eyes everything that it entailed so I can position my company to charge more for loan signings, right? Be like, hey, wait, are you doing a full package or a hybrid package, right? So I'm understanding the whole terminology. And then while we're at the customer's house, the client's house, she shows me this non-disclosure agreement where there was this price at the bottom that said that the company, did you guys know that the non-disclosure agreement says how much that the company charged the client for that notary? Did you guys know that? So at the bottom of that non-disclosure agreement, it said $250, right? And she turns and looks at me and she's like, this is what the title company just charged our client right here. Said it right in front of her. Didn't give a shit. And I said right in front of her, nigga, I just got jerked. They jerked me. I was like, wait, so you're telling me they charged this lady $250? I charged $175. And I still have to break bread with you. So I had an extra $75 on the table. I should have squeezed that shit down and left them a penny.
Yes.
Left them a penny. But trust me, they're moving the money around. They're just not moving it towards you because you're not positioning yourself to receive and attract that bread.
Yeah, which is why we came on in the first place, to speak specifically about that positioning and the power of positioning and pricing and you know how you can do it overnight. You can really change it in one day. I mean, really, one session you could.
And this is a perfect time for a commercial break. Tech, hit them with the blue seal.
Blue seal. So this is what we want to offer for you guys who are interested in being a notary business owner. If you've been involved with the notary industry for any amount of time, then one of the biggest things that you've probably run into is the ability to get clients. This is probably something that you struggle with, or you find that it's inconsistent getting clients. All right. Without clients, there is no lifeblood. There's no signings, there's no fingerprinting, there's no apostilles, there's no wedding. You need clients. So if you don't have clients, and you won't be in business for very long, so it's important that this is, you know, the top things that you have to address. And what we do is we give you exactly that. All right. It's nothing confusing, ambiguous, or unknown about it. We deliver clients. So blue seal ads. But here's the sort of the cherry on top, and this is really what makes it. This is what, to me, is what separates it from anything out there that exists. So once you get a customer to call you, once this person gets on the phone, they decide you're the person who can help them, and then they call you, then what? So the first part of what we do is we deliver these qualified, high quality leads to you. But the second part is really where we separate ourselves from in our offering, and it's your ability to actually secure the appointments. And ultimately at the end of the day, whether you do fingerprinting, wedding officiant, whether you do apostilles, whether you do process serving, adding all these services in an attempt to make yourself seem more hireable. Really, what we focus on is getting your phone to ring, number one, and then secondly, securing the client. So Blue Seal Ads is powerful when, let's say I worked in a different industry. Let's say I worked in IT, I worked in like information technology, and then I wanted to help you get more notary clients. Well, let's say I'm actually a notary. Let's say I'm a living, breathing, practicing notary, and then I want to help you get clients. Who do you think would be a little bit more efficient at getting the client? The person who has a background in banking, or person that has a background in technology, or the person who's actually a notary?
Mm-hmm.
There's a language that we speak, and there's a sentiment that we understand, and it is what separates. It's the reason why we can do it for 65 cents per lead versus somebody does it for $4 a lead. And the ongoing support is really what also makes it that much more special. But if anybody, listen, at the end of the day, you're either going to be in business for a couple of days, you're going to be in business for a couple of years. You still need clients either way around it. So it's important that the one thing that you use your thousands of dollars of business credit, use it towards getting leads. The website, maybe it can wait. The brand new car with the decals and business cards and umbrellas and door hangers, maybe it can wait. Get the lead first. Secure the lead first.
That should be the entrepreneur's number one thing: client acquisition and making a profit. Client acquisition, make a profit. Because you could still acquire a client and then you lose, right? Well, like you actually are in the negative. That could be a bad situation. So to other people, that's probably one of the hardest things to do is get clients. So we are doing the heavy lifting. We're removing that element of it being difficult for you to get clients. We'll get them for you. And for a very, very short period of time, we're adding a mastermind to it. So you get complimentary entry into our mastermind. So you can see how we coach people up, how you can position your company to ask for more money, how to land bigger contracts, bigger deals, and not, be in a position like Demi Moore where you're stripping and dropping your pants because the person decided to over exaggerate your price that they were willing to pay anyway.
And you may not even realize that you do that. Like, the exercises, like the complimentary training, not complimentary, but the supplemental training it will reveal a lot to you. Like,
indeed,
you may not realize that, I'm going to drop my pants. And once we do one exercise, you'll quickly, I see what I did there. You'll quickly see how easily someone who's just a little bit resistant to what you're offering. And again, you should expect it. You should expect people to object to what you're offering. And when they do, then you all of a sudden bend over time, baby. Like,
you know what I mean?
Crazy. You don't realize that you do that, and we can help you with that. So,
ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to get some of these YouTube checks. If I had the right formula, you guys know I'll share it with you. I don't have the formula, so I'm doing it old school and asking you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'm only a few hundred away So for YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Trust me, them YouTube. Listen, okay, I'll let you guys go after this. Concentrate majority of your efforts when it comes to social media on YouTube.
Okay.
Instagram ain't paying like that. They reneging on their how they want to pay creators. I'm not saying that you guys can't get clients and customers off of it, but I am saying if you guys want to start making some of that digital money, that passive income, and you're on social media already, pour majority of your efforts on YouTube. Make YouTube your #1 priority channel. Take the people from TikTok, bring them over to YouTube. Take the people from Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, bring them over to YouTube. Because once your channel gets monetized, listen, I'm seeing people bring in $50,000 a month on YouTube. YouTube gives you the platform to create your own media company. When I say media company, I want you to imagine your media company like ABC. Does ABC cover the news? Yes. Does ABC give you specials and Disney and cartoons and stuff? Yes, they give you all of this stuff. You now have the capabilities of creating your own media channel with a cell phone.
Wow.
With a cell phone. Some of you guys have the Apple phone. That shit got a better camera than HD cameras that you would buy. Start creating and building up your YouTube audience now. You could thank me later. I got a buddy that's about to get monetized probably today. The way his videos are moving, he might get monetized today, and he's only been doing it for 2 weeks. I've been doing it for 7 years. I'm baffled.
Yeah.
How quickly he was able to move up the ranks. He's going to start getting checks. And the beautiful thing about it, Tech, is that for every video that people watch, you're getting a piece of the pie for all of that. That's compound. That's a compound effect. Anyway, I got to make some runs. Tech, last words, brother?
I'm out. Go to drtech.com. Find out more about what we have to offer. BlueSealAds.com. Look at, follow me on Instagram if you want to, but the links are all there. drtech.com. You can see everything that we have to offer. But Blue Seal Ads is definitely your next stop. If you are a notary public and you get less than 3 calls a day, that's not good. If you get less than 3 calls a day, it's not good. Okay. Go to BlueSealAds.com. Let us help you.